Number 10. Ted Hankey. From being a championship-winning darts player to spending time in prison, Hankey had quite the fall from grace. In 2012, he, unfortunately, suffered a stroke on stage. From there, he struggled to make much of an income from darts, so by 2018, Hankey was declared bankrupt. In 2022, he pled guilty to assault on a woman above 16 but under the age of 18. The incident was all caught on camera. The judge slated the darts player for his entitlement. Hankey was sentenced to 2 years in prison and was placed on the offenders register for the next 10 years. His wife began proceedings to divorce him in the aftermath. Number 9. Nassin Hammed. In the 90s, Hammed was carrying the weight of UK boxing expectations on his shoulders. He was everywhere, appearing on international talk shows and boxing all over the globe. Yet, in 2002, he walked away from the sport. Then, in 2005, Hammed was involved in a horrific car crash caused by his poor driving. When illegally overtaking a car to impress his passenger at 90 miles per hour, Hammed collided head-on with Anthony Burgeon's vehicle. The impact caused Burgeon to break every major bone in his body. His wife also suffered injuries. Yet Hammed was uninjured. In 2006, he was sentenced to 15 months in prison and was banned from driving for 4 years. This incident also stripped him of his MBE. Number 8. Gavin Grant. Mostly playing in the lower division of England's Football League, Grant is a bit of a deep cut in the EFL's history. He played for such teams as Bradford City, Millwall and Wycombe Wanderers, but only made sparse appearances. In 2007, Grant was cleared of the 2005 fatal shooting of Jamal Moore as part of gang warfare, but in 2010 he found himself in court once again, this time alongside 2 associates for their involvement in fatally shooting Leon Labastide in 2004. Grant was found guilty and sentenced to a minimum of 25 years in prison. His legal team has attempted to appeal the decision, however, the judge dismissed it as the evidence remained compelling. Number 7. Steven Vanderldde. Seen as a rising star in the beach volleyball scene, Vanderldde was expected to represent the Netherlands in the Olympics at some point. However, it all came crashing down. In 2014, aged around 20 at the time, Vanderldde had been in contact with a 12-year-old British girl he met on Facebook. Numerous times he travelled from Amsterdam. When the allegations came out, Vanderldde was extradited from the Netherlands to face charges in the UK. In 2016, after pleading guilty to 3 counts of assault, he was sentenced to prison for 4 years. After serving his time, Vanderldde controversially resumed his professional beach volleyball career for the Netherlands. Number 6. Marlon King. Playing international football for Jamaica and in the English Premier League, King was seemingly living the good life. But away from the pitch, he was a cauldron of anger that erupted several times, with many convictions, 3 of them leading to serving time in prison. In 2002, he was sentenced to 18 months inside for receiving stolen goods. In 2009, he received another 18 months for punching a woman in the face and was also put on the offenders register for 7 years. Then, in 2014, he received another 18 months for dangerous driving when he ate ice cream and weaved in and out of traffic, leading to a 3-car pileup. One of the other drivers was in hospital for 3 weeks. Number 5. Eric Simpson. Sports coaches are meant to be one of the most trusted figures in an athlete's life. They should be mentors helping their students achieve their full potential. But sometimes, coaches fail in this in a big way. Simpson was an athlete's coach in Fife, Scotland, who aided 15 British and 2 Paralympic champions. But between 1981 and 1999, he assaulted 5 girls. One of his victims, in 2018, saw a photo of Simpson posing with a young girl he was coaching. Looking to protect her and others, she went to the police and told them what he did. By 2021, Simpson was found guilty of 7 charges. He was sentenced to 8 years and placed on the offenders register indefinitely. Number 4. David Goodwilly. On top of representing Scotland internationally, Goodwilly played for some big clubs in the UK, including Blackburn Rovers, Aberdeen and Dundee United. But off the pitch was another matter. 3 times he's been convicted for fighting, but in 2011 he and David Robertson were accused of assaulting a woman. While the case didn't go to criminal court due to an apparent lack of evidence, the victim took civil action against the two in 2016. The judge stated they had assaulted her and ordered them both to pay her £100,000. Goodwilly continued his footballing career with Clyde. In 2022, he signed for Raith Rovers, which caused massive controversy as the women's team and shirt sponsor author Val McDermid separated from Raith. Number 3. Lauren Jeska. Jeska was enjoying her life as a fell runner by competing in major British races and becoming England's champion on 3 occasions as a trans woman. However, in 2015, UK Athletics required a blood test from her to test her hormone levels, as there was no documentation of her transition. Jeska feared this test would out her transgender status publicly, and her record would be revoked. In 2016, Jeska walked into the office of UK Athletics and stabbed HR manager and former rugby professional Ralph Knibbs in the neck and head. 2 other employees were also attacked. Whilst Knibbs survived, some of his nerves were severed, leading to multiple lifelong problems. In 2017, Jeska was sentenced to 18 years in prison. Number 2. Adam Johnson. Having represented England and played for clubs like Manchester City and Middlesbrough, Johnson was rebuilding his career at Sunderland. Yet in 2015, he was arrested for lewd activity with a 15-year-old girl. Johnson had spoken to the girl, who was a fan of Sunderland, through social media and had met her several times. In 2016, Johnson was found guilty of grooming and inappropriate activity. He was sentenced to 6 years in prison. In 2017, a video came out of Johnson claiming to fellow inmates he only received a long sentence for being a pro footballer. He also made gross comments about his victim. In 2019, he was released from prison after serving half his sentence. Number 1. Bertil Fox. For years, Fox, nicknamed Brutal, was the leading light in British bodybuilding. He regularly appeared in the biggest competitions in the world. But after retiring from the sport in 1992, his life unravelled rapidly. In 1997, whilst living in St Kitts and Nevis in the Caribbean, Fox's former fiancée Leoka Brown and her mother Violet Brown were fatally shot by the ex-bodybuilder at Violet's shop. Fox was quickly arrested without bail. In 1998, he was found guilty of slaying the 2 women and was sentenced to be executed. However, after an appeal, the sentence was changed to 25 years in prison. In 2022, Fox was pardoned by the Governor-General of St Kitts and Nevis and was released from jail.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from Watch Mojo UK and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.